By the way, let me go on a little 30-second tangent here. Listen, now that you people, morons, have to acknowledge that LeBron James is a pretty good player, duh. The problem with sports radio, and I love this, and I'll do it for a few more years and then, shoot myself because it drives me nuts. But here's the thing. A lot of you are 20-year-old guys. You didn't watch Jordan. You don't have any idea. You just hear about Jordan. You literally think Michael made every shot he ever took. Michael Jordan missed 26 game-winning shots. Michael Jordan had bad home games, closeout games, even in the playoffs, even in the finals. Go look at his last game in the finals against Phoenix or Seattle when he had shot 23%. My problem with Michael Jordan, we have revisionist history that he never lost a game. And there was this talk about LeBron James. He doesn't have the will to win. Well, Michael Jordan didn't win for 8 years. He won as a freshman in college, then didn't win until his 6th year in the NBA. So he went 2 years of college, 5 or 6 of NBA, and he couldn't win. He couldn't beat Detroit, couldn't beat the Piston teams. Well, the NBA was so great then. Look it up. There were 7 atrocious teams then. There are 7 atrocious teams now. There were about 15 to 16 good teams. There's about 15 to 16 pretty solid good teams. I would count Minnesota in that group. Good, but got beat up physically. There's about 15 quality teams in the NBA. That's what there was during the Jordan era. It's a little more diluted now, but you got higher end talent now. But here's the thing about Jordan that I always laugh at. Well, LeBron, he got help. If you're a 20-year-old guy, never call a radio station ever again if your take is LeBron had better help. Michael Jordan had the best head coach in the league, Phil Jackson, the best rebounder in NBA history, Dennis Rodman, the best defensive player in the league, Scottie Pippen, the best shooter, Steve Kerr, and the best Euro at the time, Tony Kukoc. LeBron has the best what? Tattooed guy, Birdman? Bosh isn't the best at anything. He's a finesse 4. D. Wade in the last 2 playoff runs has never been at 100%. LeBron is overwhelmingly doing it more himself. Jordan never had to worry about Rodman giving him 0 rebounds. Bosh scored 0 points in Game 7. He never had to worry about Steve Kerr, Rodman, Pippen giving him a 0. In Game 7, Mike Miller, Ray Allen, and Chris Bosh played 70 minutes, 0 points. What does Miami have besides LeBron that's considered the best? Nothing. Jordan had the best head coach, the best rebounder, the best shooter, the best or second best Euro at the time, and the best defensive player. Jordan's teams were unbelievable. In fact, I would argue the 95 Bulls were the best defensive team in league history. Ron Harper could D. He was a great defensive player. Pippen was great. Jordan was great. Rodman was great. Those teams defensively were unbelievable. They suffocated great offenses. So that's the one thing that, well, Jordan didn't have to leave. Yeah, he went to Chicago. One guy went to Cleveland. It's a lot easier to get people to Chicago. Remember, Rodman wasn't drafted by the Bulls. They got him from San Antonio via Detroit. Detroit, San Antonio, or to San Antonio, Detroit, to Chicago. That wasn't the first team that some of those guys ever played on. It wasn't the first team Ron Harper played on. Michael couldn't win with Doug Collins, Stan Albrecht. LeBron inherited Eric Spoelstra, who an hour before last year's game 6 or 7, you wanted fired. You didn't know who Eric Spoelstra was. You didn't know who he was. He's had a finesse 4, Ray Allen 8 years past his prime, and D. Wade in both his title runs about 80%. So don't tell me Jordan didn't have help. Jordan's supporting cast was unbelievable. And the only people who don't get that are 20-year-olds who never saw those Bulls teams play. He was surrounded by it was literally like a deli and taking the best cheese, the best bread, the best meats. Jordan had the best. Now, I'm not saying outside of Pippen, they were legendary players, but you talk about a team of specialists. That team had specialists. Miami's the worst rebounding team in the league. LeBron's there, often their best rebounder. They never asked Jordan to be their best rebounder. LeBron's their best facilitator. They never asked Jordan to do that. They're asking LeBron to do everything. Game 7, Bosh, 0 points. Pippen never gave you one of those. Rodman never gave you a 0 rebound. Ever. So, come on, give me a break on that. LeBron's being asked to do so much, it's almost ridiculous. ESPN Radio presented by Progressive Insurance. Test drive snap.